The next one we visited was a sweet little puppy. Yes, very sweet, a little unsure. So this is telling me that this puppy is not a confident puppy. Yes, it's very sweet. It wants to be your friend. It might pull at your, well, it will definitely pull at your heartstrings because she's just so cute and she wants to be with somebody so bad. But there's a few things that we need to think about when we see non-confident puppies. So, non-confident puppies can absolutely grow up and have wonderful lives. As the adopter, it is your responsibility to do your due diligence in teaching this puppy confidence. If the puppy is not socialized properly and taught confidence as a puppy into their adolescence, they can develop behavioral issues for the rest of their life. I want to take this time to kind of debunk the myth of, oh, I have other dogs, it's going to be socialized. That is not how you socialize dogs. Socializing takes time and effort. It means taking them to training classes, taking them to some daycare, going out as many places as you can that's dog friendly, having them meet people, having them meet other dogs that are safe for them to meet, and as many situations as you can expose them to. That is how you properly socialize your puppy. Non-socialized puppies will absolutely 99.9% of the time have behavioral issues as an adolescent. And it is much easier to socialize your puppy as a puppy and do the work when they're a puppy as versus having to do it when they're an adult. Some puppies that are fearful, you can do your due diligence, do all the work as their puppies, socialize them, give them the best exposure that you can. And sometimes they can still have behavioral issues because it's in their DNA. That's going to happen when they hit the maturing stage at a year to a year and a half. For more on changes in behavior during maturing stages, you can check out my other video that addresses maturing stages and behavioral changes specifically. When I first do these assessments, I go to the kennel and I observe the puppy or dog's behavior first before I even find out any information about the puppy or the dog. So now that we've done that, let's check out the information on this puppy. So everybody meet Finley. She is a 2.5, almost 3-month old now, little terrier pit bull mixed puppy. She came in as a stray, has no medical issues. We're going to say her play style is puppies. And her play group is gentle, dainty puppies. We are next going to look at the breed characteristics of your puppy. It is extremely important for you to understand how your puppy is going to act, what it's going to take to give them exercise, toys, and whatnot to make sure they're going to fit in your household and you have the correct expectations before you bring this puppy home. So it's important to know how big your puppy is going to get. If you have a mixed breed, you might need to look into all the different breeds that you think that are in your puppy and kind of get a better idea that way. You also need to look at male and female sizes because they can be different based on breed to breed. You need to look at the physical requirements for your dog, the exercise, not only mental but also physical. You need to look at the toys and the equipment that your dog is going to need for taking them on a walk. If they're smaller dogs, they're going to need smaller toys, maybe cloth toys, things that they're not going to be too destructive versus your bully breeds, your more large breeds. Their toys, and they're going to be much more destructive with their toys. This also means you're going to have more supervision with dogs that are more destructive with their toys so you don't get into any medical emergencies. Also, you're going to have to replace their toys more often than a breed that is less destructive with their toys. Let's now look at another important element of your dog, and that is their arousal threshold. The arousal threshold is different in every breed. It will determine how basically your household is going to run. If your dog has a high arousal threshold, such as breeds as your golden retrievers, your Weimaraners, you're going to have a more laid back household. That means when guests come over, your dog is not going to get as crazy. Kids, if you have young kids and they get loud, your dog is not going to get as bothered with that, versus dogs that have a lower arousal threshold. So these dog breeds are typically your working breeds. So your healers, your Aussies, can be your bully breeds. They are going to go to 0 to 60 much faster than your breeds, such as your golden retrievers, Weimaraners, labs, that are going to be able to handle a lot more energy and stress and change in their environment easier than your dogs with your low arousal threshold. So that is very important to look at, because you're going to have to take in consideration how much company do you have come over? Do you have young kids? How energetic is your household? How laid back is your household? All that plays a huge factor in giving this new puppy a forever home and a great relationship between you and your puppy as they go into adult and you spend the rest of your life with your puppy. Now let's take a look about arousal thresholds in dogs, how it affects your household, how it affects your family, how it affects your decision on adopting this puppy, and how to determine what breed has what threshold in general.